Hello, and welcome to Speak Honest. I am your host and certified relationship coach, Jennifer Noble. It has been my passion for over a decade to help women like you heal what's been holding you back from having the relationships you deserve. Are you struggling with a relationship where you can't seem to voice your emotions, needs, and boundaries without having it blow up in your face? Then you have found the right podcast, my friend. Get ready for practical tips, empowering truths, and honest conversations. Now, let's dive in. Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Speak Honest. I am Jen Noble, your go-to relationship coach, and on today's episode, I cannot even tell you how excited I am for what we are going to be talking about, because we're talking about something that's not only huge for me personally, but it's also going to be a life-changing opportunity for so many of you. Now, if you haven't heard yet, my book, Dance of Attachment, is officially launching this October. So exciting. And we're not just doing a little book signing. We are doing this full-on Jen style. It is a 3-day celebration in Los Angeles, California. And here's what's going down. So Friday night, we are kicking things off with connection dinners, some rich relationships, and some really special author events. But then on Saturday, on November 15th, we are doing the LA Authors Workshop and Networking Reception, where I'll be officially launching Dance of Attachment into the world. And you'll get to hear from authors, publishers, and speakers who are making massive moves with their books. And yes, I will be right there as well, sharing my story. And then Sunday, we're closing out the weekend with a healing day on the beach because you know me, I'm all about balance of celebration and restoration. And so having all of this together is going to be so beautiful. And I've got to say, I honestly just never thought I'd be here. Listen, and you're going to hear me talk about this with Sam a little bit, but I'm dyslexic. I have ADHD. And for the longest time, I never thought I could write a book. I thought it was impossible. But that's the beautiful thing about the work that we do here inside of Speak Honest. I worked through all of those wounds. I worked through those patterns, and I found a way to achieve my goals. That is the thing I want to be talking about. And the beautiful thing about the way that I partnered with Lucky Book Publishing is that they didn't just hand me a checklist and send me on my way. They gave me a community. They gave me coaching. They gave me a way to have accountability. They gave me other women to talk to, other authors who have became basically my sisters in this process. It's been such a supportive space. And if you know anything about me, you know that I think a community and a supportive space is one of the most important things we can be doing in our healing journeys, if not our human journeys. So today, I get to bring you the woman behind all of this. My publisher, my friend, and one of the most inspiring leaders I know. Samantha Moonsammy. Sam is the co-founder of Lucky Book Publishing. She has built a publishing house that is all about disrupting the industry, centering community, and helping women like us not only write books, but build legacies. I can't wait for you to listen to this conversation. You're going to hear all about how she got started in this world of publishing and even the fun story about how Lucky Book Publishing became its name. I love that. I never knew that till recently. And what it's like to build a business while also building a marriage and a family. And also why Sam believes so deeply in helping authors, not just to publish their books, but how to use that book to build their brand, their business, and their impact. You're going to hear more about the LA event and what it's going to look like to be a part of the Lucky Book family. And trust me when I say being in Sam's presence, it lights you up. She has this way of making you feel like your big dream is actually possible. So if you've ever had that little whisper in your heart saying, I have this story inside of me, then today's episode is for you. This conversation will give you clarity, encouragement, and maybe even that nudge you've been waiting for. So let's jump in. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have the beautiful Samantha with us today. Samantha, I want you to just go ahead and jump right in, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and everything that you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Jen. So excited. If you don't already know, Jen's one of our authors. I am the co-founder of Lucky Book Publishing. I remember my first DM from Jen, and she's just like, "Oh my God, like I know we're like other parts of the world together, like other sides of North America, but I'm like, I love you. I love what you're doing. I love what you're creating. I need to write a book with you." And thank you so much. That warms my heart. And I think that that's really the heart of who I am. When I think of my life, it all comes down to one thing. It comes down to community. I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm married. I met my beautiful husband in 2015. I actually had an event planning and publicity company at the time, and I sold the company at the same time after I met him because I realized that having that company, like that was my everything. It was like I threw everything into it, but there was so many parts of me that were missing. We're here to talk about like relationships and love too. Like, so I made that bold leap. Even though I loved it so much, I knew that by giving up something that I was so good at was going to take me on these quantum leaps beyond my imagination. So I met my husband, then boyfriend, in 2015. We got married in 2019. And my father passed away in December 2019, like a few months after I got married. I was 5 months pregnant with my baby. And that just changed everything for me in the trajectory of my life. And I think anyone who's lost like a parent or like a deep, like their first love, they understand what that means. Everything in my life changed after then. Like, yes, I cared about people in the community. I always held space for people. And as an event planner, I'm a communications professional. I've been in the media, like all the things. But then it's almost like, oh my gosh, like, how do you want, like, I don't want my tombstone to say, like, Samantha, like, best wedding planner in the world.
She could fold a mean napkin, that girl. Yes.
Yeah, like, that just seems so shallow and brutal, right?
Yeah.
So, like, everything started to shift for me of, like, what is my why? Like, why am I here on planet Earth? And it was all, like, it's all for love. Like, it's all to, like, share love, bring community, but in a truly meaningful way. So I think through all of those moments, like, a lot of fast things happened around that time, but it taught me so much about boundaries. It taught me so much about like who I want to be. And the person that you see here today, I've got two beautiful children. Like today, they're 3 and 6 years old. They're like a huge light of my life. And I remember being that 20-year-old or that 30-year-old and feeling lonely in my downtown condo and being like, oh my God, the day that I get married or have kids, like I'm going to be so grateful. And the thing is, I am, like, I truly am. No matter the worst days, no matter all the ups and downs that we go through, like layoffs or health scares or the bumpy things, it's just like, no, I am grateful. And I know that, all of these things are here to teach me something. I think me taking the time to go back to my heart and self-reflection has just made me such a better partner, friend, mother, co-founder to a business that holds space for, around 50 authors. Like it's just, I don't think I can talk about who I am without talking about some of those layers.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sammy, for just sharing all of that right now. And let's backtrack a little bit. Talk me through. So you met your husband in 2015. At this point in time, you said you're an event planner, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. So when did you end up selling that company?
So like a few months later, like I said, and
like literally, like just right then, like there was just like a big impact. So because I wanted to know, like, talk me through what it was like in your relationship. You're this incredible, successful businesswoman. Like you are such a badass, right? Like this is just so amazing. And this man comes into your life, and I want to speak to my listeners out there that have this desire to run these businesses, to be that entrepreneur, to be that badass woman, and thinking, oh, but men are intimidated by me, or they could never do anything like that. So talk me through, you're already successful by the time you meet him, and you just become more successful as you're going. What's that been like in your relationship with him through that process?
So I'm not going to lie. When I met my husband, he was very different than the characteristics of someone that I would have dated before.
Oh, I love that. Go on.
I did date a lot of quieter, kind of introverted kind of men. I think when I met him, it's like I met my match. Like he was alpha male. He was like muscular and strong. Like he really has a presence. So he kind of like, he triggered me a lot because he was bossy and I was just being bossy. But I did know through my work of being single and knowing what I needed next in my life, I knew I wanted someone who would challenge me and who would, who was strong and like wasn't just kind of doing like emotional drive-bys with me. Like I think a lot of my past relationships, I attracted people who loved my sunshine, and you know what I mean? They were attracted to that, and then I attracted how much they loved me, and then I just thought that that was like the dream relationship.
Yes.
But it wasn't really what I needed. What I needed was someone, and I remember someone telling me this and saying like, it's easy to look like side by side at each other and be like, I love you, I love you. But what if you're both looking out into the world and being like, I love us, but I'm excited to share the world with you? And I think he was the first person I met that we said that. We said, like, we care for each other, but we also like know that like we're going on this together outwards and we're going to figure it out. Because when you put yourself out into the world with love, it's a totally different situation than like when you're in like the bubble, right? And I didn't want to be in the bubble. So I think because I did some of the work before I met him, I didn't fall into the same like patterns of probably a lot of the stuff that you're talking about in your book, right? So by the time I met my husband, like I was really excited and ready to be in something that was very different than I've ever like kind of experienced before. And yeah, like selling the company was a really important part of that journey because I needed to cut a lot of the ties of like that past life and make room. Like when you're an event planner, you work in the evenings, you work on the weekends. So if I'm telling the universe, oh, I want to give time and attention to like, my beloved, well, don't you have to kind of show up for that, right? Like you need to make the time.
I talk about that a lot with the ladies in my program and my clients, and talking about like, if you want to bring a man into your life, you do need to kind of start making that space for that at the same time. So what I love is like, you had already put that intention out into the universe that you were going to start making that space. And even before you finished making that space, already somebody's coming in. So I love that. I adore that so much. So let's shift forward a little bit into, how did you get into publishing? Who was it that brought you into this? Tell me a little bit more about like, you went from event planning to, you know what? I want to work with authors. So tell me about that.
This is such a cool story. And, it goes back to, I think that in 2019, I really connected with my heart and my intuition. I think we all know inside that we're going to get messages of like what's supposed to happen next, right? We don't always have all the answers. So let's go back. 2015, I sell my company and I don't start Lucky Book until 2022. So that's important to know. Like that's 7 years where I went and worked for 9 to 5. I helped other female founders start their companies. I started a collective and other community events, but I always said I wasn't ready to own something myself, but I was still kind of giving back like my business acumen and all of that like knowledge transfer, right? So 2022, I'm pregnant with my second child, and I know that this is like completing our family. Okay. So I named my first baby Sunshine because I was going through the grief of my father, right? At that time. So baby number 2 was called Baby Abundance. And I said, okay, Baby Abundance, I'm ready. You're going to bring me my business idea. And I started getting messages from Baby Abundance. So I would literally talk to this baby in my belly, and he would say to me, yes, mommy, I'm going to bring you your business idea. It's not going to be service-based the way you did it before. It's going to be a product and it's going to impact millions of people. And you're not going to do it by yourself because I was a CEO of my past company. You're going to do it with your biz bestie and you're going to do it together. And it's going to be a family legacy. So all of that really resonated. But Jen, don't get me wrong. I had to go back to my friends and be like, did I really say this when I was pregnant? And my friends confirmed that yes, I didn't just make up the story.
You're actually saying this out loud. You're going through it.
I was saying this, Jen. So
yes.
To be honest, I didn't know it was publishing. All I knew is that it was product based. And of course it was going to use my genius. So something that was cool that people know about me is that I worked with lots of cool, like international icons that were like #1 best-selling authors. So like the late Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, Eckhart Tolle, Elizabeth Gilbert. So I've always been around authors. And when I was an event planner, I actually also hosted a lot of media publicity tours or book launches for authors. So it's interesting how my life has gone full circle and I can see that now. So, fast forward, baby's born on March 17th. Okay. So those of you who know, that's St. Patrick's Day. So lucky day of the year, hence the name Lucky Book Publishing. Okay.
Is that where the name comes from, Sammy?
Yes.
That is so sweet. I don't think I ever knew that till right now. Thank you for sharing that. I love that so much. Oh, it's so lucky.
It's so lucky. It's
Yeah.
lucky and auspicious because the baby, and he came so quickly that day. He wasn't actually like, he was early. And it's just like, okay, yes, baby Lionel, like you were meant to be born on March 17th. Little did I know, once again, it's part of the story, right? So a few months later, I'm holding the baby and you're going to laugh, but I'm watching YouTube and a YouTube ad comes up about publishing. And intuitively, I call my biz bestie, who you know is Samar. She's the co-founder of Lucky Book. And I say, hey, I saw this publishing thing. Like, can we just do this? Like, I just have a good feeling about it. Let's just write books. Let's just create a thought leadership. Like, we were both into branding and events and marketing. We didn't know it was going to be a publishing house, Jen. So I wrote my first book on the wedding planning secrets of a wedding planner, like the little black book of wedding planning secrets. And it became a bestseller. And our first 20 clients were from Facebook. It was when I announced my book to the world and everyone's like, oh, Sammy's back. Like, can she help me write a book? Can she help me write a book? So Lucky Book Publishing was actually built from the people. The people told me this is what they wanted. I was just going on my destiny's life path. And here we are.
That's so beautiful. I love that. So you started creating Lucky Book Publishing with you and Samar. I love that. I don't think I realized that you guys were such besties beforehand. And as you were talking about at the start, right? Community, so important. So you started collecting all these people. You started helping them write books. Terry Kingston, one of your OGs, one of my, good friends who brought me into this world with my TEDx talk and all of this stuff. And it just kept going. So now here you are, publishing all of these books. Can we talk a little bit? Because I've had a lot of people ask me, I don't understand this whole hybrid publishing thing.
Yes.
And I am with lots of professionals, NSA, Toastmasters, TEDx speakers, keynote speakers. They all want to write books. All of them want to, like, how are you doing this, Jen? And I'm like, you guys, listen, I never in the history of my life ever thought I would write a book. I am not a writer. Can I speak? Absolutely. Can I use my voice all the time? Yeah, I use it way too much. But trying to put things down on paper, I have ADHD. I'm dyslexic. Like, I literally physically cannot write. And I thought, there's no way I'm ever going to write a book. Except I didn't realize that there is this whole system out there between self-publishing and traditional publishing that's called hybrid publishing. And it's this beautiful publishing availability out there that allows you to get your heart out into the world. So can you talk me through a little bit what hybrid publishing is? And for my listeners who are out there thinking like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do this. This is the perfect opportunity. So talk me through that a little bit.
Oh, I love that so much. And this is my favorite topic to talk about, on how, like, I'm so proud of what Samar and I have built at Lucky Book Publishing, and also like what you all feed to the ecosystem of what it is. Because we are in this space called hybrid publishing, which means we're in an opportunity to disrupt the industry. Okay. So I think we all know what self-publishing is. You're going to have to learn everything yourself. You're going to write, publish, do all the things, probably make 101 mistakes, not be able, but like, you're going to do it and you're going to figure it out. It's probably going to take a lot of time, but it's there for you. So for the DIYer, it's great. Like, it's not going to stop it. It really democratized the system. Then traditionally there's, the big five publishers. You had to get a literary agent. You had to like pitch your story and then like pray someone was going to pick up like your book. So we live right in the middle where we say, you know what? Check out Lucky Book Publishing, see if it's a right fit for you. What's cool about being a hybrid publisher, and what's cool about what Samar and I have built, is I actually never worked for a traditional publisher. Yes, I've worked for the media. So I didn't have any of those preconceived ideas of what they do, but I knew people who worked in the industry. I also understood how self-publishing worked. So we get to build a publishing house from scratch. So what did we do? We take the best of like why people like self-publishing, why do people like traditional publishing, and what is missing. And that is what we created in Lucky Book Publishing. So a hybrid publisher basically is giving you that street cred and credibility of the stamp of a publisher, right? So if you look at all of our books, like, you're getting like, the Lucky Book on the spine, they're getting you your ISBNs, they're doing sort of all of that accountability.
Just to interrupt you, I didn't even understand what an ISBN was until I started working with you guys. This is what I'm talking about. Self-publishing was a never gonna happen thing for me. Like, the amount of knowledge and understanding you guys have is exactly why we need this. Sorry, continue.
No, exactly. Well, you're a perfect example. And you talked about coaches and people in Toastmasters and tennis. Like, you're all very busy already, right? Like, you're all like working in your business, or maybe you have a 9 to 5 and then you're doing this on the side as a passion project. Do you really want to learn a whole other industry from scratch? I would say probably not the best use of your time. What would be really awesome for your time is to look into something like Lucky Book Publishing, because what it is, there's two options. Like you come in with literally just a book idea, or you're coming with us with your manuscript. We're going to help you right from the start. Okay. So you get assigned a book coach and they take you through all that writing stuff. Okay. So I've basically created with Samar our favorite formula for a nonfiction memoir book. That is one of our specialties. Like almost all of our books are like that. But even if you're not a nonfiction memoir, the patterns are still the same for everything else. Okay. So yes, we have fiction and children's books too, because that's where I'm starting to start talking to you about the magic. So you're right. You never thought that you were a writer, but here you are. You got into this space. You got the tools and skills from us. You saw our book outline. You joined our writing classes. You joined our authors community calls, and you realized, hey, I can do this too. I'm just like you. Like I'm launching this book, right, in LA in November, my fourth book, and I wrote it out in voice notes.
Oh, I love that. But this is the unique thing. I want to stop us down there. And again, your new book, Write the Book That Changes Everything, is coming out November 15th. I'm so excited for this book. I think it's going to really just change so many lives. But right there is exactly what I'm talking about, is especially with the tech that exists out there nowadays. You have so many different modalities of writing your book that you never had, that none of us had back in the day, that there's so many ways to help us. There's AI, not that we want AI to write our book completely, but what I mean is there's Grammarly, right? Do you know how many times I've shoved my shit into Grammarly to be like, I don't understand how to use commas, guys? Or I just send it to an editor. And she helps me understand, hey, Jen, this part here isn't making any sense. Why don't we change this word up right here? This is the kind of support you get within Lucky Book Publishing. And I want to kind of say real quick, whilst there's tons of different types of hybrid publishers out there, the thing that happened to me when I was kind of looking around and I started deciding, like you, just that big thing went on my heart. I had done my TEDx talk and I thought, okay, I need to put this in written form because everyone kind of keeps asking me these questions. I teach on this, but again, people don't want to join my program. They just want to read it. So I was like, okay, what can I do? There's a lot of kind of shady hybrid publishers out there. I'm just going to keep it real. And they wanted so much money for doing nothing. And they wanted me to already have my manuscript pre-written. When I joined you guys, I had nothing. I had an idea, I had a title, and that was it. And then I worked with Ellie, the beautiful Ellie, as we all know, and my book coach. And she just really helped me to get to an understanding. This right here, to me, is the quintessential beauty that comes from Lucky Book Publishing, unlike any other hybrid publisher, is the community you have created amongst all of us authors and the way we help each other. I have sent chapters to other authors to be like, girls, I need your help. I'm overthinking this. And we have other authors, guys, check out my book cover. What do you think? Where else are you going to get that? You don't even get that in traditional publishing. The authors do not talk to each other at Penguin or, Harper. Like, they're not friends. These girls are like my besties now. Like, we're in group chats together. We're talking to one another. Where else are you going to get that? That, to me, right there is Lucky Book Publishing in a nutshell. It's this beautiful, helpful community because you, Sammy, want to get people's words out there, don't you?
Exactly. Let me show you my card, this promo card. This kind of sums it all up. This is what I've been sharing.
Oh, I love that. Okay, it says, for people listening, it says, write the book, build the business, be the brand. All right, talk me through it.
Okay. So here at Lucky Book Publishing, it's not just about, I don't want to just take, Jen's money and help her publish a book and then say, see you later. Like, that's not how my heart works. I knew that I was getting into publishing because I was going to disrupt the industry. I actually had a dream and Louise Hay came to me. If anyone knows who Louise Hay is, she was the founder of Hay House, okay? And she said, Sammy, you got this. You're going to put your own spin on it and it's going to be amazing. This is how you're going to impact millions in the world. So for me, a book is everything. A book is legacy. It's going to outlive Jen. Like, how many of you know your great-great-grandparents? Like, probably not. You might not even know their name. Jen now is a legend. She'll be a legend in her family and in her friend circles because she has a book that lives on past her. She's going to have an audiobook that lives past her. She has a podcast, all of these things. It's incredible. Okay. So that's her building the brand. Okay. So I am very interested, particularly women in business. I love that a book turns your business card into a billboard. I love that your book gets you on stages. I love that, your future client is going to read your book and be like, who is Jen Noble? I need to work with her right now. I love that a book can change people's lives, that it can impact from one to many. Like Jen can only hold space for like so many people, but now her book is going to get her great words out in such a ripple effect way. Like that's the business side of things. Okay. So this is where I think traditional publishers fall short. They're not giving you business coaching on how like the book is the lead gen and the strategy into your business. I don't look at a book as like an extra thing in a business. I believe it's like part of the core of the business and the values. When you read Dance of Attachment of what Jen's talking about, this is her heart and soul of her business and how she shows up for the women in her community, right? Like this is the type of stuff we're creating here. So I'm very invested in understanding that Jen's writing a book, but it's going to lead to building her more business and helping her be the brand so that she can impact millions, do the 80-20 rule. I love that. Everyone should have like 80% is the rocks in your business, 20% is how you're going to give back in the world. We look at someone like Julie Sung, who you're going to meet. She said 80% of my clients is, it's going to be like universities, like private workshops with corporations, stuff like that. But 20%, I want to work with women's shelters and incarcerated women. I want to give away my book. I want to do free workshops. Like these are the type of people like Jake Talbert, also flying in from Arizona to California, talking about the giver method. We all have a superpower inside of us. This book helps you get super clear on that and be like, that's how you give back to the world. That's how you get clarity on your purpose and being, So these authors are just incredible. So I'm in this amazing space that, yes, we help you write the book, we publish the book, and then we help you also market the book after that. Like what's going to be so cool. So Jen's book's going to be coming out in October 2025. And I can tell you, if we sit back here a year later, invite me back, October 2026, she'll be able to share all the ripple effects on how it helped her build the business and be the brand.
Oh, I love that idea. Let's do it. I'm already scheduling it in because it's so true. When I first joined, I just thought, oh, you guys are just going to help me write the book and then you'll be done with me. No, I sit in those weekly, by the way, that I love those calls so much. Our Monday weekly calls. It just feels so community oriented. Everyone levels me up. But yeah, someone like Terry Kingston, who wrote her book, back in 2023, she's still here. She's still benefiting off of her book and she's still getting her message across to people. And you still work with her hand in hand.
I do.
You don't just help people and then drop them. Like we are now a part of your community forever and it's just going to keep growing. So let's transition real quick to talking about the event in November. This is the big LA book launch. Myself, Julie Sung, who wrote Thrive and Shine, like you mentioned, both of us are doing our big book launches there. You are also doing your book launch there as well. Write the book that changes everything. We're going to have other Lucky Book Publishing authors that are coming in to speak, to share their story, to enjoy and celebrate with us. So let's talk about that because I got to tell you, this right here is worth everything for me. I can't believe I get to say, oh my God, I'm having a book launch party in LA. Like, who even am I? What is happening in my life right now?
Yes, Jen, claim your space. This is for you. So here's another thing about Lucky Book Publishing. Because I come from a publicity and event marketing background, when we started this company, I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that our authors are in iconic cities around the world. So we bring you to LA, we bring you to New York City, we put your book on billboards in Times Square, we take you to Dubai. Like it is so important to help lift. I feel like I have a responsibility to my authors to make sure that they're seen. So Jen, this is so exciting what we're doing. So this is our first visit for our LA Authors Workshop, November 15, 2015. But it's going to be something that happens once a year. And we're already talking about adding the Bay Area.
Oh, I can't wait to do the one up in the Bay Area. It's going to be so exciting up here. Everyone already, I was just at an NSA, which is the National Speakers Association event last night. And I was telling them all about how much I love my publisher. And they were all just like salivating, right? They're just like, tell me more. How do we do this? I need to write this book. I already have 3 manuscripts ready to go. And I was like, just wait. I already invited them down to LA, but you got to come to the LA one, come again to the Bay Area one. But the one in LA, Santa Monica specifically, as anyone that knows California knows, is very different. November 15th. We got the beautiful Santa Monica Library.
It's going to be so amazing. So here's the thing. They say 8 out of 10 people have a book idea inside of them, but less than 1% of people actually go through with it. So that means that 8 out of 10 people, just even in the Cali area alone, like that's a lot of people who have a book on their mind and their heart. I invite you to spend the afternoon with us. It's amazing. We're making it accessible. There's free tickets. You could upgrade to VIP if you want signed copies of some of these new book releases too. But, we want you to just be in that space. Be in that space to meet other authors who are just like you. Maybe you're that single mom who's juggling 3 or 4 jobs and, like life seems really tough right now, but you have like this courageous story. That there's like a part 2 of you out there that, that you want to get out. Or maybe, as you said, you're that person with 3 manuscripts sitting on something. Or maybe you're just feeling a little stuck and you're like, I just want to be in a room with other inspiring people who are like going after their big dreams. Like that's the thing. This LA authors workshop space is for everybody. So for the first 3 hours, 12 to 3, we're going to be hearing inspirational talks. So picture like 5-minute TED Talks that are inspiring. You're going to meet like these amazing authors, right? Including like there's Hal flying in from New York, all over the place. People are flying in. You're going to get to hear behind the stories. Like how did their book change everything for them, right? And then you're going to have chances to talk with me and I'm going to walk you through some ideas. You could be leaving that day with a book idea, like started. And then 3 to 5 is all about celebrating. Like Jen, so excited to be holding your book in your hand. Julie, like big congratulations. She's from the LA area and like so many of you, we're going to be toasting. So like friends, family. So if you're more like the social vibe person, come for the 3 to 5 part, come toast with us, come network, come meet these amazing authors. I promise you, this is amazing. And this is part of my heart and soul of Lucky Book Publishing. So we do book tours in LA, in New York, at least once a year for our authors. So if like your calling is I need to write a book, not only do you get to write a book and publish and become a #1 bestseller, you also get to do book tours in LA and New York with us. So these are some things that like, I don't know if any other publishers are doing this kind of stuff, Jen. I'm just so excited to welcome your community to meet us in person.
I love that. You're so right. No other publisher I know is doing this, whether it be traditional, hybrid, or even self-publishing. Because even as a self-publisher, what are you going to do? Just like go to LA on your own and kind of like, well, how does that even look? Like you can figure it all out, but having that community behind you to be able to do it, it's everything. So again, thank you so much, Sammy, for coming on here, talking to us. If anyone is interested in wanting to come to the LA event, there's going to be a link in the show notes. I want you to click on that. Also, we are talking about it all the time in our free Facebook community, Speak Honest, Secure Communication for Women. So many of my ladies are coming. They're already like figuring out how to like share hotel rooms together. Because in my community, we're making this a party. Like in my community, it's our 3-day event. We're coming in. We're having so much fun. We are having an entire ladies retreat. We are just having a women's weekend. Come, leave the kids and the hubby at home. I want you all there. We're going to have so much fun. You're going to get to meet someone like Sammy, such an inspirational woman that just being in her presence, you guys, levels you up. I'm not even kidding you. Just being able to talk with her, you're all of a sudden going to be like, oh my God, I could conquer the world. I could do this. And that's the kind of energy that we're bringing. So as we're wrapping up today, Sammy, is there one last thing that you would like people to know as we finish?
I just want everyone to like turn back to their heart for a minute and just be like, when you heard me talk about who I am, like, I just want everyone to just like hold that heart. Like, I think that I just want to share my gratitude of meeting you. This is the ripple effect of what happens in the Lucky Book family, thanks to Terry. And I just want to say my heart is so full and I have so much more to give. And within all of us, we have that power. And I want you all to just believe in your one big dream. I know for Jen, publishing this book is like a dream come true. For me, going to LA, hosting an LA authors workshop, launching my book in LA, that's a really big dream coming up. So if we could all just like pause and hold our heart for a minute, like what's showing up for us? What's the message that we need to hear? And I just want to hold space for everyone and tell you I'm cheering you on.
That's beautiful. All right, ladies, this week your homework is to pause, to hold your heart, and to ask it, what is it trying to tell you? What is your one big message? Thank you so much for coming on today, Sammy, and I will talk with you later. Take care. Wow, what an incredible conversation with Sam. Every time I talk with her, I am just reminded that this book journey is so much bigger than me. It's about legacy, community, creating something that will keep rippling out into the world long after us. And I'm just so honored to be a part of it. And speaking of that, my book, Dance of Attachment, you can officially go check it out at danceofattachment.com, or you can go check out the link in the show notes. This is the book that will help you finally understand your patterns in love. It will help you heal the old wounds that keep pulling you back. And more importantly, it is going to help smart women like you stop doing dumb shit in relationship, ladies, and let's learn how to actually break the pattern so we can have those relationships where we feel safe, seen, and secure. So I want you to go check it out at danceofattachment.com. And when you do, you're not just getting a book. You're joining a movement of women who are done settling for surface level love, and they are ready to feel what it feels like to be in a loving relationship. So head to danceofattachment.com, get your copy, and let's keep dancing this dance together. I will speak with you all next week. Take care. As we wrap up today's conversation, always remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. And it is an honor to be a part of your healing journey. If you want to dig deeper into the topics we covered today, be sure to head over to our show notes where you can find all of the valuable information mentioned in today's episode right there. And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's podcast. Your feedback means the world to us and helps others discover our podcast. Until next time, remember to speak up and speak honest.